Hello, I'm Pastor Colleen Litsey with Anchor of Hope Women's Ministry in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. Also pastoring with my husband, Dale Litsey, at Jubilee Christian Center. And I have with me today a very interesting guest and Anchor of Hope board member, Judge Cynthia D. Pickering. And I'm going to ask her to just say a few things about women in transition. And she is, like I say, on our board and so much help. I'm so thankful for her counsel and her advice. And I just want to thank you for spending this time with us, Cindy.
You're welcome. Thanks for asking me.
Yes. And so what do you see is a vital part in the transitional homes that we're doing at Anchor?
To me, the most vital part is giving these women an opportunity to further their education and to further their training so that when they as they come out of prison, they are not placed in a position where they have to go on the street and live in a homeless shelter, back to an abuser, because a lot of women come out of an abusive situation.
Yes.
As you and I have talked about before, a lot of these women have burned all of the bridges that they've had in their past, and they may not have family that's willing to take them back. And so it's critical that we have these women in transitional homes and not just out on the street.
We see that a lot where they just are lost when they get out. They don't know for sure where they're going to go. They many times go back to the same relationship with a male that they had before, and that helped them get there where they got into prison. And I was blessed to be a part of and still am, one that goes into Eddie Warrior's Correctional Center in Taft, Oklahoma, but I worked as a volunteer chaplain for 3 years there, 1 day a week helping, and that's where I really saw the need, because they would come by and get their sign out done by us as they were leaving. Their time would be up, and I'd say, well, where are you going? Where's your next step? And they'd say, well, I'm not sure. I'm going to go back to a friend's house, or I think my grandma's going to let me live with her. And they didn't really have a plan, and I've felt sorry for them, because I said, you need a plan, and you need a good plan, a safe place to go. And that's when God began to confirm to me what I was supposed to do in helping this situation. And like we've said on previous broadcasts, that Oklahoma is #1 in female incarceration, and Oklahoma is #1 in the whole United States. And the United States is #1 in the world. So basically we're saying Oklahoma is #1 for female incarceration in the world. And the male incarceration is just right behind them here in Oklahoma. So it's a struggle for them. They need accountability, don't they?
They do.
When they come out.
They absolutely need to have accountability. They also need to go to a place where they can regain their self-esteem.
Yes.
And to get an education, because it is very common for these women to have dropped out of school before getting a high school education. And it's hard to find a job without a high school education. Yes. And they don't feel good about themselves because they have been in bad situations. They have committed a crime, and so they feel guilt, and they don't like themselves. It's very critical that we, as a nation and as this community, look to help these people.
Right.
It should be our job to lift them up and not to continue to just crush them into the ground, where they just don't have any sense of self or anything that they can do.
Yes.
And so they choose to stay on drugs to mask that pain that they're feeling. And there's so much more that they could be doing if we give them a chance.
Yes. Yes, I see that. And I know that many times women are struggling with a lot of emotional health, mental health, and I'm so blessed to have Judge Cynthia Pickering's advice on our board, because she is over the Anna McBride court and also drug court here in Okmulgee County. And so she's a very fair judge. I've known her for years, and she has a very good reputation here in our county for being fair with people and respectful to people, and she really tries to help them on their way. But, you know, sometimes when people won't help themselves, there's nothing we can do. So we are looking for the women to come into our first home, Hope House, and you might see a picture here in a minute of that. It's a 4-bedroom and 4-bath, and it will hold 8 women, 2 women to each bedroom, twin beds, 2 twin beds. We'll have a living area and a dining area, and each bedroom has a walk-in closet and a total of 3,200 square feet. And it's right behind our church, being built already. We've started the foundation about a month ago and then laid the slab, and looking to get the lumber going now up to do framing. We're looking for more donations and help, and looking at some grants if we can possibly get some private grants. But it's a need, but yet we want to give them a hand up and not just a hand out, because they will be responsible, won't they, to have jobs when they get settled in and finish schooling. If they need to finish schooling, they're going to be busy every day of the week and come to church twice a week. That'll be required if their job allows for 2 times, but at least once a week on Sunday. Celebrate Recovery is a big program in our church, and that helps too. And I know you've been over drug court. You see the need for that accountability.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I will say that the majority of my drug court and Anna McBride clients attend the Celebrate Recovery at Jubilee Christian, and they find it to be very helpful and very remarkable. Yes. And it's a blessing to them, not only them, but to the community at large, because it's a place they can go and be around other Christian people, learn about the Word, and learn about how to stay sober and function in this reality.
Yes. And can you explain to us what the Anna McBride Court really is?
Absolutely. Let me back up just a minute and tell you that if a person has committed a crime that has to do with drugs in our county, and it's going to reach a felony level, they have the option of making application to either adult drug court or our Anna McBride program. And the Anna McBride program is a dual diagnose program where they have a drug problem and a mental health problem. And our program is designed to get them the mental health they need. They will be seeing different doctors that can prescribe them the correct medications that they might need to be on, so they don't have to self-medicate on drugs.
Right.
The same is true with our drug court. Although they may not have a mental health need, they still have a drug addiction that they're fighting.
Yes.
And they need to have that help, and we're able to divert them into rehabs if we need to.
Right.
But it's difficult to help them find good housing sometimes.
Right.
And they are forced to go back and live with somebody that we may not approve of when they get out. And so it's difficult. And this will be a perfect solution, and hopefully it will be one of many homes that comes into this area that our women will be able to utilize to stay clean and sober and to find a job that they can support themselves in.
Yes.
And reestablish themselves in this community and with their families, hopefully.
Right. Yes. The children are very important, and I know that a lot of them have already lost their rights when they're in prison, but some have not. If grandparents or parents have been taking care of the children, then many times they can get them back. And if they have a good helping hand there to ensure proper parenting, and that's one thing that we'll be teaching in our program. They'll have a 12-month program that they can stay in if they wish, and we'll be teaching parenting and self-help programs such as how to figure your bills in a checkbook, and even have cooking classes and some craft classes. That's going to be fun.
I look forward to that.
Yes.
I think it's important that everyone have some type of a hobby that they can kind of used to wash some of the hardness of the day off and just get your mind off of things.
Right.
And for these women, it may be a way to make some extra egg money, what we used to call egg money,
Oh, yeah.
by selling some of their crafts.
Yeah.
And that will teach them some self-esteem as well.
Right.
I have a vision for them to learn, for example, soap making, candle making. They can learn
Right.
how to do some nice jewelry. They might want to learn to sew and do some quilting. So it really, the sky's the limit. If they want to learn it, then we can teach it.
Yes.
They might want to get into the cooking, like you mentioned, and do jams and jellies or other things that they would be able to sell
Yes.
and see the result of.
That's great. Yes.
Yeah, I think and I look forward to it. I want people to understand that by having a home for these women doesn't mean they're going to be out roaming the streets. As you've said, they're going to have quite a bit of structure.
Yes.
And these women are going to get out of prison whether we're able to take them in or not.
Right.
And it's critical that as a community that we understand that we should not have the not in my backyard mentality.
Yes.
It is a problem for the entire community, and if they will get behind us, the
Yes.
community gets behind us and supports the building of these homes, that's people that are not going to be out on the street begging for food, stealing
Yes.
things to have enough to buy whatever they need or want.
Right.
Because that's a big problem, is if they don't have it, they feel forced to steal it because they don't have a job.
Right.
And if we can help them get a job, learn a trade, I know we've talked about them learning cosmetology, whatever other classes they might offer in local. We have Botech and we have OSUIT,
Yes.
that they can learn how to do some
Right.
different programs that can help them rise above where they are.
Yes. Yes. Well, I'm excited to get on our journey, and I'm excited about these women coming in, and we're praying for the right ones. We want the women that are serious about a life change and that are already, doing things at their prison where they are right now, working on their self-help programs. I know at Eddie Warriors they do teach recovery, sexual abuse recovery, and codependency programs, and they even have Victory Bible College through Victory Christian Center, and all these things are really help. And so I'm going to look at that. Well, what have you done while you're there? Are you promoting your future? Are you making adjustments? And are you getting any write-ups? Are you behaving? So all these things we'll be able to look at through help with their caseworker, and also Judge Cindy Pickering here, she can help us vet too, look up their court records and what they were in there for, and then help us with interviews. We'll go to the prison sometimes and interview both caseworker and the inmate. So I appreciate you coming.
Well, I appreciate you asking me, and actually you've come to my neck of the woods. We are in our courtroom here in Okmulgee County Courthouse on the first floor, and I appreciate you getting out on this rainy day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I want to say one thing too, that our church, Jubilee Christian Center, is a very friendly and welcoming church, and we've had 3 women already in our program that we've been working with for the last year, and all 3 of them are doing very well, and our church welcomes people, all people, any kind of background, and they found family there. And this is one thing that they really need. They need a family. And sometimes your spiritual family can even be closer than your natural family.
That is true. Very
yes. True. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.